What's going on, guys? Today we are going to talk about something that is pretty not very good. Okay, most of the time I do personality disorders. All right, but this does have something to do with personality disorder, which is going to be one of the cluster B's and NPD. So um, this is where the really bad side of mental health disorder is. To me, it's worse than antisocial, and it's called the dark triad. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what the dark triad is. The dark triad is consists of three different components: narcissism, Machiavellism, and psychopathy. They are called the dark triad because of their malevolent quantities. Okay, they have antisocial like behaviors, um, impulsivity and selfishness, and um, a part of the narcissistic side is the grandiose side, the pride, the egotism, and the lack of empathy. When you lack empathy, you don't have no feeling for anybody or what happens to them, no matter what. Machiavellism is characterized by manipulation and exploitation of others, and absent or morality, and at a higher level of self-interest. Psychopathy. It is characterized by continuous antisocial behavior, impulsivity, selfishness, callousness, and unemotional traits, and remorsefulness, meaning there's none. Okay, this is what we call the dark triad. Okay, now let's see what it'll do right here. We know what narcissism is, and its definition. Narcissism is the pursuit of gratification from vanity and egotistic admiration of one's idolized self-image and attributes. It was back then as known as in the Greek as mythology, where the young narcissist fell in love with his own image and reflected a pool of water. Okay, narcissists are often, these are the seven deadly sins according to, I guess you call narcissism, whatever y'all. Shamelessness. They're not shameful. Not at all. They don't care. They blame you if you're the victim, whether you're dead or alive, it doesn't matter. Um, After they've hurt you and stuff. And this is called shamelessness. It's narcissism. Narcissists are often proudly and openly shameless. Okay? They are not bound emotionally by the needs or wishes of others. Narcissists hate shame. They don't like it. And consider it toxic, as shame implies they are not perfect and need to change. Narcissists want to be perfect, want to be at the top of the line, want to be at the center of the attention. Narcissists prefer guilt over shame, as guilt allows them to disassociate their actions from themselves. It's only their actions that are wrong, while their intentions are good. Not good. Not really. Magical thinking. Narcissists see themselves as perfect, using distortion and illusion, known as magical thinking. They also use projection and dump shame onto others. They won't have shame. They believe you are the shame, not them, which is wrong. We know that. Arrogance. A narcissist who is feeling deflated may reinflate their sense of self importance by diminishing, debasing, or or degrading someone else. The envy side. A narcissist may secure a sense of superiority in the face of another person's ability to use contempt to minimize the other person or their achievements. Number 5, entitlement. Can take forms but always involves the exploitation of others without regard for their feelings or interests. Often the other person is in a super vigilant position where resistance would be difficult or impossible. Sometimes the subservience is not so much real as assumed. This exploitation may result in many brief, short-lived relationships. Typical. Their entitlement. Narcissists hold unreasonable expectations of particularly favorable treatment and automatic compliance because they consider themselves special. Failure to comply is considered an attack on their sobriety, and their perpetrator is considered an awkward or difficult position. Yeah, I would say so. Distance or their will is a narcissistic injury that can trigger a narcissistic rage. You don't want that. I've lived in that growing up through my whole childhood. It's not good. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the person that's got narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder. It's not good for anybody. It's huge stress on everybody. Let me just tell you. Their threat to harm you, and I mean harm you in the most serious way that you can be harmed, when they tell you it's real, okay? Take it to the bank. It's real. Leave. Bad boundaries. Narcissists do not recognize that they have boundaries and that others are separate and are not extensions of themselves. Others either exist to meet their needs or may as well not exist at all. That perfectly fits the way it was when I grew up with my dad. So, those who will provide narcissistic supply to a narcissist are treated as if they are part of the narcissist and are expected to live up to those expectations. In the minds of narcissists, there is no boundary between self and other. Still, if you do for them, on and on and on and on, it don't matter. You're still not going to be them. You're not going to be in the same zip code as they are. That's just one of the 3 traits of the dark triad. That's narcissism. Now we're going to do Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism is also the name that social and personality psychologists have give to a psychological scale that measures a person's tendency to engage in interpersonal manipulation, unemotional coldness, and indifference to morality. This means they're very cold, they're very callous, and we know what they're very manipulative. We know just by watching movies what Machiavellism is. You have to have this in order to have one, in order to be as part of the dark triad. This is the one you got to have. Not necessarily the other, but this is the must. In the mental health today, you have to have Machiavellism. This is, it's one of the personality traits referred to as the dark triad. We all know that. Along with narcissism and psychopathy. Some psychologists consider Machiavellism to be essentially a subclinical form of psychopathy. No, not really. It's not, but it's close. Which is why psychopathy is different, just by a little. But when they all three go hand in hand, you don't want to be the person to be around. Now, my dad didn't have the Machiavellism. He just had narcissistic personality disorder, which you can have without the Machiavellism. You don't have to have Machiavellism to have NPD. You just don't. Psychopathy, we know what this is. It is a personality disorder, persistent antisocial personality disorder, or impaired empathy and remorse, and bold and disinhibited and egotistical traits. It is sometimes considered synonymous with sociopathy. Okay, we know. I'll tell you the difference between those right now in just a minute. Different conceptions of psychopathy has been used throughout history, that they are only partly overlapping and may sometimes be contradictory. There's no contradictory. And I'll tell you why. I mean, maybe there is a little bit when the person is grown up, like 10, 11 years old, but a psychopath is born. A sociopath is developed among several conditions, environments, and such, especially bad parental behavior, or parents really being very harsh on them, beating them, knocking them around. I've seen parents do that before, and it's not a good sight. Those are the things that you have to worry about. To me, and now this is to me, the dark triad is worse than antisocial personality disorder. It's the really dark, it's the really dark side of mental health. I mean, really, honestly, there is no depression there. Could be a little bit, maybe, I don't know. But they can't feel nothing. They can't feel, you know, your, what's going on with you. They can't feel what's wrong with them. They just don't have no, they can't feel anything. They're emotionally numb, flat, and they're crazy and they're insane. Unfortunately. Now to talk about psychosis and psychopathy, there's a difference. If you've got psychosis, people think you're crazy, which there is a serious mental problem with that. Um, but psychopathy is when you ain't got no feelings. You don't care. You're ready to go out and commit any kind of serious violent crime, and it won't even bother you. Now, this is, this is the way most feel that's got antisocial personality disorder, but to me, this is a little bit worse because this involved both antisocial and narcissistic personality disorder. But the dark triad is just, it's something that if you know the person has, you better go as far away as you can go. Because if you make this person mad, there's no telling what could happen. And so this is why I say it's important to always seek counseling, see a therapist. It, if you feel like you're not seeing the right one, that's not abnormal. That's not, there's nothing abnormal about that. You can get up with the wrong one. I've had that happen several times, but you need to get up with a good one that you feel comfortable with and that they feel comfortable with. I usually say that it's not the end of the world if you've got a personality disorder. Well, narcissism is narcissistic personality disorder. No, it's not. Antisocial. No, it's not the end of the world. But when it comes to the dark triad, I don't know. I don't know. That's just one I don't know about. I can't say that it's not or is the end of the world. I don't know. All I know is I see a lot of this kind of stuff in movies, and it's really, really ugly. Especially if you watch Investigation Discovery, you'll see a lot of narcissistic behaviors and antisocial behaviors in on the Investigation Discovery channel or Oxygen, whatever, you'll see that. So, and you may run across ones that you want to do some research on, and that's fine. Um, for instance, I have one today that I'm wanting to look at. Um, that I watched on Investigation Discovery. Seems to me like that the guy that was these are based on real life stories. Okay, now the characters are made up, of course, but it seems to me like that the person who ever done this in that documentary certainly had to, more than likely had the dark triad. It just didn't seem to fit any of the personality disorders. Maybe antisocial, but I wouldn't. The way his eyes looked in that documentary, I'm going to go with the dark triad. He looked really, really dark. He had to be the center of attention. It was, it's just the way it was. But that's what I wanted to say about what is the dark triad thing. Um, it's tough mental health disorder. No question about it. No doubt about it. And most of the time, these people, they're either sometimes on the street or they're in prison. Probably more than even antisocial people. But I mean, as far as the dark triad goes, in my book, it's the worst mental health disorder. And there's no doubt about it. I mean, that's my belief. Anyways, you guys drop the like button, subscribe button. Feel free to comment um about this, and if you agree or disagree, it always brings some interesting stuff. So yeah, I mean, your thoughts and stuff would be great about what the dark triad is. A lot of people don't know about it, but it's out there. And in today's world, narcissistic personality disorder, or should I say narcissist, is the fastest growing mental health disorder that there is. So scary, but it's true. But anyways, take care. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and comment. Thank you for watching.